Yo, what is up, YouTube? It's your boy Phantom Sableye here, and coming to you with a little bonus here. It is a replay, as you guys should know by now. I have had added a couple of bonuses to the replays, through the replays, I should say. Anyways, this is a pretty interesting match I had here. um, I didn't play very well at all. Or at least I should say I kind of over predicted quite a bit during this match. Um, but I decided I might as well save the recording and show it to you guys anyway. Um, he sort of did choke during the end, just a little heads up. yeah, yeah, it kind of tells you what happens already. But yeah, it was pretty interesting playing this guy. Especially I've been looking at the team that we've built for the PU tier, and I gotta say it's really tough to use. It's not that, it's not a really great team, I should say, or maybe it is, and I just don't know how to use this team, which kind of sounds weird to say because I did build this team. Um, then again. I'm not used to using Pokemon with Tailwind. I'm not used to using like a Garchomp defensively. I'm not used to using support Pokemon like the Chimecho. And then all of my hard hitters are sort of either kind of slow for the tier, even though Plusle and Rapidash aren't too slow. But considering all the Pokemon in this tier, they're kind of slowish or on the slow side. And so I don't know. It's kind of tough using this team. I might have to change some things up. I am going to test run this team quite a few times. Try and rank up my PU tier. Or try to rank up in the PU tier, I should say. See to where I can at least get a little bit more competitive battles. And if I can't handle or stand my own ground with this team, then I'm definitely going to change it up. Because I've sort of realized, you guys, I did say that I try to build teams that are competitive. That way, if you guys want to, like, I guess copy me, that way you guys can at least win. Because I don't want to make a team that's not good. And I realize that I made multiple teams that aren't all that great. Um, to be honest, all of my teams were pretty bad that I've built so far, besides my Ubers and my UU tier. I think those are the only two tiers where I've actually made a pretty decent team, and all the other ones aren't all that great, I don't think. Um, so yeah, I can definitely make some pretty competitive OU teams. So like I said, after this tier, I might just stay within my knowledge zone, I guess you could say. Which sort of means that I'm going to try and stay around the PU tier, the OU tier, and the UU tier, because that's where I'm most familiar with. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what's going to happen from now on, since I sort of did go through all of the tiers besides all the extra things like Little Cup, Battle Spot, and all those things, VGC, blah blah blah. I don't want to go through all of that stuff. I just want to go through the common tiers. The so yeah. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm gonna sort of rank up this team a little bit. So if I don't record or don't upload a video shortly after this one, it might be because I'm testing out the team still, and then if I find it to be not so great, then I'll probably rebuild the team up a little bit, change some pokes around, and sort of make a bit more of a competitive team for you guys. But anyway, enough of that. Let's finally get on with the battle. As you guys can see, I am the character furthest away from you guys. I just realized that I am this character. Why am I this character? I don't like being him. I'm usually Lieutenant Surge. I'm probably like that for multiple videos that I've recorded now. I gotta change that. I don't like that. Anyway, um, So yeah, I look at my opponent's team. It's pretty cool. I like it. He has the sticky web here in his Ariados. He has the very, very threatening shell smashing Carcosa, which is a huge threat for my team. I don't have anything to handle that on my team. I have nothing. Nothing can handle a Carcosa after it's shell smashed on my team. Everything gets destroyed by it. So, and Caracosas are very, very, very common in this tier. So yeah. They have this belly drumming Zangoose, which is also a huge, huge threat if it gets set up. I don't have much to handle it if it does get that belly drum set up. Maybe our Garchomp, or not our Garchomp, our Gabite can take a few hits. He has his Servine here, which can set up. You guys know in our OU tier, my videos in the OU tier, I had a Superior, which is the final evolution of the Servine. So you guys sort of know what this Pokemon can do. It sets up the Leaf Storms and it raises its special attack times 2 every time it goes for it. So it can get very, very powerful quick. And it's decently fast as well. And if you run the Eviolite on it, it can be pretty bulky too. He has this Zebstrika here, which is pretty annoying. Zebstrika, I'm not too worried about this Pokemon for our team because we do have the Gabite, which pretty much walls it unless it has an Ice-type move. And we do have Plusle, who has Lightning Rod, which can pretty much wall it. And we do have the Chimecho, which can pretty much eat any hit it wants to go for. So I'm not really worried about his Zebstrika. And then he has the Monferno, which is, I don't have too much to say for it. It can definitely handle our Beartic. It can, well, I guess that's pretty much all it can do. Yeah, it can't really do too much. Doesn't put a huge, huge dent in us unless it has like, oh, even Grass Knot. Oh, anyway, I did press play on accident. But anyway, I guess it is time to just get started anyway. So he leads off with his Superior, or his Servine. I lead off with Bay. I just decided to go for the Volt Switch and switch on out to an appropriate switch. That being our Pegasus here. He misses the Leaf Storm, which is pretty unfortunate. He does switch out into his Carracosta. I wanted to really predict that, and I almost clicked Drill Run, but it's a really good thing that I didn't because he had the Air Balloon, and so that sort of ended up good. I switched out into Bay thinking he'd just go for a Shell Smash or something. But he just goes for Aqua Jet and then easily 2-hits KO. 2-hit KOs our Bay, so that's terrible. I go for the Toxic with our Sharknado as he goes for the knockoff. So we already lose our Eviolite. So this is not looking very good at all. I decided to set up my Stealth Rocks here. That way I can at least have him up. And he decides to switch out in his Ariados here, which I don't agree with at all. Because I simply outspeed the Ariados because it has such a low speed stat anyway. So because of that, he's not going to be able to get the chance to set up his Sticky Web, which is unfortunate for him. Right here, he switches out into a Servine. I decided to just kind of sack off Sharknado because I didn't want to hard switch out into our Pegasus here. This time, I do predict the Caracos to come in, but he makes a great play and decides to stay in with his Servine, and down goes our Pegasus. So we're not looking too good. We're 3 versus 5 here. So I have to bring Coca-Cola out. He goes for the Giga Drain. He gets all of his HP back, or most of it at least. But I do land the Icicle Crash, which is fantastic. But this Monferno is definitely going to scare us out. I switch out, and he makes a great prediction by going for the Thunder Punch. So Lumineon, and he gets the Paralysis, but it doesn't really matter anyway because Monferno outspeeds Lumineon, and I kind of just have to sack it off at this point. So Lumineon didn't get to do anything at all, and now I have to go out into dinner time and hope that I can survive multiple hits and take out the Monferno. I do decide to paralyze it just in case something got a little sticky, and I could perhaps try and take him out with our Beartic. I go for the Psychic, and he ends up getting paralyzed, which is very, very lucky for us. So I'm able to go for another Psychic, which is going to take out the Monferno, which is good for us. And out comes the Carracosta. I don't agree with this play because the Psychic's easily going to be able to knock out the Carracosta. So that's already we've sort of brought it back to 2v2. So that's fantastic. Right here, I decided to go for the Psychic in case he went for the Belly Drum, because I just wanted to take it out as quickly as possible. I did not want it to get that chance to get its Belly Drum up, because if it did, we easily would have lost. I go for the Thunder Wave to try and paralyze this thing. That way I can get a bit health from the leftovers. I go for another Psychic. It brings it down to 9%. And right here he chokes. He goes for the Belly Drum. I have no idea why he decided to go for that. And right here he didn't go for the Extreme Speed anyway. So he could have gotten me a bit lower. And I did some calculating. I knew that Beartic could take one overheat. After I go for the Healing Wish, and he goes for the overheat anyways, so that obviously tells me that he's either Choice Specs or Choice Scarf, so I know Coca-Cola can take another overheat, and Icicle Crash will be able to take out the Zebstrika. So, that was a pretty hectic battle. Definitely a battle I should have lost, simply because he played absolutely terribly during the beginning. Then again, or during the end, excuse me. Then again, I did play absolutely terribly during the beginning, so it could have just been that I was just over predicting and overestimating my opponent. So yeah, or maybe he is a good player, but just no, I don't think he's a good player. If he was a good player, he should have easily been able to defeat me. But I ended up coming back. It definitely shouldn't have been as hard as I made it. I know I could have played that much, much better. But I just, like I said, I wanted to over-predict. I don't know. I gave him too much credit for what he really was. And because of that, it sort of put me way, way behind in the match. But I did end up coming back and taking the W. So, yeah. Coca-Cola putting in the finest of work. Also, dinner time. Chimecho put in a bunch of work, a ton of work actually. Chimecho took out, what was it, 4 of my opponent's Pokemon? No, he took out 3, but it did fantastic. Dinner time did absolutely fantastic. It took out half of my opponent's team. Beartic took out 2, and Gabite took out the Ariados. Pokemon that didn't really get to do anything at all was our Bay, the Plusle, Luminion, and Pegasus didn't really get to do much either. I did break the balloon on Carcosa, which I guess is nice, and I guess it did a little bit of damage to Servine, as well as Bay, but it didn't really matter too much. Well, that's the game. Like I said, I'm going to test this team a bit more. Hopefully it's a bit more competitive than what I think it is, because I honestly don't think it's all that competitive. But maybe I can use it to where it's a bit more competitive than what I think. Well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, take care.